Hola clase, soy el señor D aquí con otro video. Aquí tenemos vocabulario y gramática. En capítulo 2 hay muchísima gramática, so instead of me standing in front of the class reviewing this all with you, I'm going to end the grammar lessons with a video de señor D. So, rápidamente, permiso, la señora Tucker necesitaba algo aquí. Pero, alright, so let's translate these words. We're on the papel azul de capítulo 2 con clases, vocabulario 2. Otras cosas dice there is, I. Repitan, I. Significa there is. This can also mean there are. So in this chapter we can say there are a lot of students. There are a lot of tests. There is one awesome teacher. Mucho, translate this as a lot of. And I think a lot in English should be one word. I actually had an English professor at college say they should change it to one word also. But whatever. Poco. Poco, un poquito, significa algo como a little bit of. A little bit of. A small amount of. If you wanted to say there are just a little bit of tests in Spanish class. ¿Cuántos means how many. How many students are there in the class? How many students are there in the class? Mismo means the same. Todo means all of. Cada can translate as each or every. And this is the plural word of who. So perhaps you're saying who is the girl, that would be the singular form quién. But if you would say who are they over there, you would have to make quién plural if we're talking about more than one person. Everything's going plural now. Quién, es to son, ella to ellas, él to los. Everything's plural. Okay, so that's your vocab. I'm going to explain some of these words to you in another time. Now I need you to go back to the last papel azul that you received from me in class or printed off the internet, and you should see this. I. Here we go. So, nombre, señor D. Periodo 12. Where is this thing? Entire page. Nope. Full screen. There we go. So this is examples of things we've been learning through this chapter and some new ideas here. Notes, there are examples just for you. Here's the word I again. It means there is. It can also mean there are. So this is sort of, it is a verb. It is a very tricky verb in Spanish. But just hey, it's written hey, but it's pronounced I. There is or there are. Mucho. Mucho means a lot of by itself. Never use the word de with mucho. If you write mucho de, you're literally saying a lot of, or a lot of, from. Mucho is an adjective. You never have to change it. You have to change it to agree with the subject or the thing you're describing. So look down here. Muchas clases. We had to change the O to an A and add the S. Clases is feminine and plural, so mucho needs to be feminine and plural. And we don't switch this one around. We don't say clases muchas. It goes in front. Muchas clases. Here's what I've been saying in class a lot. Adjectives must agree in number and gender. In number and gender. Number means singular and plural. Gender, obviously, masculino o femenino. Okay, let's translate some examples here. Short phrases, some of these are sentences, but let's highlight these new words that we're focusing on. First, reiteration, boring students. If you would say boring students, this would be a switcheroni. Alumnos aburridos. Adjectives must agree in number and gender. Here we have masculino, masculino. Plural, plural. Alumnos aburridos. Studious friends. You have friends that are studious. Studious goes there. Friends come here. I made you go feminine here. Amigas. Amigas estudiosas. Alright, now look at this next example. It says, there are a lot of good teachers. So we already have a lot of down here. And I've already put teachers and then good. So I've already done the switcheroni for you. Notice how I have muchos maestros buenos. So now we just need to translate the word there are. And we look up top, I. So we've just translated this sentence. There are a lot of teachers. Hay muchos maestros buenos. Como Señor D. Science class is fun. Reiteration here. We do not say ciencias clase. We are doing la clase de ciencias. S. Adjectives must agree in number and gender. Here's we're dealing with gender. We're dealing with la clase, not ciencias. We are not making our adjective agree with ciencias. We are making it agree with la clase. La clase de ciencias es divertida. La clase is the subject, so obviously aburrida must be... Señor D está moviendo. Feminine. Femenino. Feminine. Femenino. I can spell it better in Spanish. There are some easy classes. Let's translate that. There are some easy classes. So, Señor D has already done the switcheroni for you. So, clases fáciles. We need to put in the word some. ¿Cómo se dice some? I believe it's an indefinite article for this chapter. Hay unas clases fáciles, como la clase de español. Español es muy fácil. Let's look at this sentence. There are a lot of horrible teachers. Hopefully not in your life. There were a few in mine. Hay mucho. Mucho must agree with the adjective in number and gender. Mucho doesn't work. Muchos. Hay muchos maestros horribles. Remember, a lot of translates as one word. Do not translate the word of. It's already included in mucho. There are a lot. I'm sorry, there are horrible teachers. Oh no. Whoa. Read that correctly. They are horrible teachers. Now, this is different than this. This exists in Spanish. This does not exist in Spanish. You have to write it out in Spanish. They are. If you don't know the difference between these two, talk to your English teacher or your parents. They should know. They, we're going to translate the word they. Ellos son. They are maestros horribles. So you're describing it. You're not saying there are. You're saying they are. So, difícil. Pay attention to that. I almost got confused and I made the worksheet. Interesante. Okay, let's go back to that vocabulary that I gave to you today, and I'm just going to go over a few examples with you, and if I were you, I would write these down. Or maybe take a screenshot of the whole thing when it's over. So in your notes, you wrote down todo means all of. And it works just like mucho. So we're going to translate this phrase, all of the classes. So we start out, todo means all of by itself. Las clases. Now, we have feminine obviously. Todas las clases. This needs to be moved. This says all of the students are fabulous. So let's translate all of the students. Todos los alumnos. Let's go back, make this plural. We're dealing with masculine and feminine, so we'll just make it masculine here. Todos los alumnos son fabulosos. And that's referring to all of you. Mismo here, translated as the same, as same. So, let me go back to this view. It says the same homework. So let's translate that. La tarea, that would be the homework. Translate it word for word almost. Mismo is the same. Hopefully you're eyeing up that O, saying, hey, feminine. La misma tarea, we have the same homework again. Watching a video and taking notes. Muy bien. Okay, last thing here that I need us to learn new for the first time is the word cada. Cada means each or every. So you could say all of the classes at the top of your paper, all of the classes, or you could say every class. You could say all of the students or every student. Alumno is masculine. Look at the word cada. Cada doesn't change. It's just going to stay like this. We don't change it. Each test, cada examen. And this ends up being a singular idea, singular grammatically, but in a sense sort of plural because you're saying each test or every student. But it deals in a singular sense. Clase mucha gramática. Review the notes. Watch this video a few times. Bring questions to class. Adiós de Señor D. Con otro video para ustedes. Gramática 2. Vocabulario 2 de Buen Viaje. Que tengas un buen viaje.